Good morning, Trojans. We're from Petaluma HOSA. I'm Annika Schmid.
And I'm Marguerite Flynn. We've been inspired by the actions of the students from Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School who are actively engaged in addressing violence as a health issue.
One thing we are doing is asking everyone in our campus community to make a pledge to create a more inclusive and empathetic climate with our hashtag What's Your 17 campaign. You may have seen signs around campus asking hashtag What's Your 17. The idea is to commit 17 acts of kindness or inclusion. Things such as offering friendship, smiling at someone you don't know, opening your heart to someone in pain. By being aware of marginalized or struggling individuals and reaching out to them with kindness, we can move towards a less violent society.
Michael Nagler of the Meta Center for Nonviolence states that approaching gun violence at schools as a health issue involves two approaches: medical practices on the one hand and public health on the other. Medicine, broadly speaking, treats individuals who have come down with an illness or an injury. Public health concentrates on social factors that can make illness and injury less frequent.
And it is a B-Day.
The quote of the day today comes from Albert Einstein: "Intellectual growth should commence at birth and cease only at death."
And now we go to sports with Jamie.
Touchdown, Trojans! A perfect moment of brilliance.
Thanks, guys. Yesterday, the freshman team ended its losing streak with a satisfying 6-2 victory over Cardinal Newman at Abbey Field. Meanwhile, today, the co-ed badminton team looks for their first victory of the year as they travel to Healdsburg to face the Greyhounds at 4. With spring sports entering league play, we have one final winter sports interview. After the varsity girls basketball team's final game in NCS playoffs lost to CASA, we talked with junior star Kayleigh Smith.
You were able to put up, I think, 8 points and a couple key threes. How are you able to thrive in this exciting environment?
I just kept going. I really wanted to win. This is my last game with everyone, obviously. So it was going to be our last home game, so I was just trying to do everything I could to win.
Was a lot of excitement in this gym, totally full stands. How much was this a reward for everything that you guys worked to get a game of this magnitude?
It was cool that people came to one of our last games to HOSA, and I'm glad we got our last home game, so that was fun.
Back on this amazingly successful season that surpassed everyone's expectations.
I think it's pretty cool. Nobody thought we would be good. I didn't even think we would be good. I kind of thought my coach was crazy when he said that we were going to win league this year, so to come that far was pretty awesome.
It's one final time to all the winter sports teams and their accomplishments. This year, today our varsity girls lacrosse team, looks to remain undefeated, facing Terra Linda at Ellison Field at 4:30 in their home opener. Meanwhile, the varsity boys lacrosse team has a long run trip to El Dorado Hills to face powerhouse Oak Ridge, looking to prove itself with an elite JV playing prior. That's all for sports. Let's head back to our wonderful anchors.
Thank you, Jamie. We're sorry the HOSA video cut short. We will be playing it after the outro for those who are interested in watching it. If not, it'll air again tomorrow. And back to sports. Rowdy Rough Volleyball is next week. Juniors and freshmen, there are still spots open on your team. To sign up, please contact Michael Verbolt at mverbolt18@petk12.org.
All people interested in attending Spring State, there's a mandatory meeting at lunch in A5 to get an informational packet and other information about Spring State.
And attention seniors, senior prom is coming up soon. If you are still looking for a prom dress, please visit the PHS Bilingual office. We have quite a few dresses to choose from, all of which have been donated to Petaluma High School. These dresses are available to our students until March 21st. After that time, we will be donating them to the Princess Project, which is being held at the Petaluma Outlet Mall on March 24th and 25th.
The HOSA State Leadership Conference is coming up, and the testing window for competitive events is now open. If you see our HOSA competitors, Barbara Garza, Annika Schmid, Lexis Camacho, and Marguerite Flynn in the halls, give them a high five and lots of encouragement. Good luck, ladies.
And if you are planning on being in honors chemistry next year, there will be a meeting at lunch this Friday in F16 to fill out applications so we can determine the number of sections needed. Please attend in room F16 or see Miss Boyce in advance. If she does not hear from you, she will assume you are not interested in the class, which would be sad and she would miss you.
The spring break countdown is a total of 6 more school days, 9 days including weekends, 17 hours, and 15 minutes until spring break. Are you ready for an extremely long week?
And Circle of Friends is meeting today at lunch in E1. We absolutely love seeing your bright faces, having fun, eating lunch, and making new friends.
This Sunday, March 11th at 2 a.m., daylight savings will begin. We will be springing forward until November 4th. Did you know that in Florida they voted to stay on daylight savings time all year long? According to CNN, the struggle to kill off daylight savings time is just as old as time itself. But the main reason this bill was passed, according to Congress, is that it saves energy. So, while we're all waking up an hour earlier every day, we're helping preserve Mother Nature.
There's a new one. And that's all for today after the All Good Driving ad. Tune in tomorrow and make it a great day.
Good morning, Trojans. We're from Petaluma HOSA. I'm Annika Schmid.
And I'm Marguerite Flynn. We've been inspired by the actions of the students from Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School who are actively engaged in addressing violence as a health issue.
One thing we are doing is asking everyone in our campus community to make a pledge to create a more inclusive and empathetic climate with our hashtag What's Your 17 campaign. You may have seen signs around campus asking hashtag What's Your 17. The idea is to commit 17 acts of kindness or inclusion. Things such as offering friendship, smiling at someone you don't know, opening your heart to someone in pain. By being aware of marginalized or struggling individuals and reaching out to them with kindness, we can move towards a less violent society.
Michael Nagler of the Meta Center for Nonviolence states that approaching gun violence at schools as a health issue involves 2 approaches: medical practices on the one hand and public health on the other. Medicine, broadly speaking, treats individuals who have come down with an illness or an injury. Public health concentrates on social factors that can make illness and injury less frequent.
Mr. Nagler describes the public health part of the equation by proposing teaching peace and nonviolence and helping or at least letting students explore how to find meaning in their lives.
So to get at these 2 public health goals, our HOSA chapter decided to launch our What's Your 17 campaign to teach nonviolence principles and help students find meaning through building a stronger, more inclusive community.
In addition, we have these great t-shirts available for sale. We encourage students to commit themselves to making a change and end gun violence, to consider buying and wearing one of these tees in a show of solidarity. There are just $10 and all proceeds from the sales of the tees will be donated to the student organizers from Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School, their efforts to end gun violence in schools.
Which brings us to our next action. We are working with Mr. Sturt to plan activities for March 14th. This is the date that has nationally been proposed for a 17-minute walkout, 1 minute for each life lost at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School, beginning at 10 a.m. On March 14th, we will host a discussion immediately following the walkout with a panel of speakers drawn from civic leadership in nonviolence and law enforcement to hear about opportunities for actions that can make a difference. Get yourself a tee and wear it that day for maximum impact.
I think we can all agree that we would like to live in a safe, nonviolent community. We are encouraging everyone to find an action that you feel comfortable with, whether it be walking out, committing to vote, contacting civic leaders and asking them to address gun violence, making the hashtag What's Your 17 pledge, or whatever you feel comfortable with. Now back to your regular programming.
We did it!
Okay, they know